Happy New Year.
That sound. Happy New Year. How's everyone?
Sorry, I'm looking at one professional now with my dressing gown on and not professional at all, is it?
We have similar like colors on. So like
we
black.
do. Yeah. We're merging into one. Get this set up. So, how do we start? It's been a while. Like I feel like we're rusty. It's been 2 weeks we had off where we haven't done anything, and now we've got 2 weeks worth of news to condense into. Well, we managed to shrink it much more down because we had loads of nonsense in there. But yeah, we've got to loosen up, try and get back into the swing of things.
But pretty cool to be back. I'm really happy to be back, and a lot to talk about, like and just news and also what we've been up to.
Well, yeah, what's been going on the last 2 weeks?
Well, a lot. We had pre-Christmas time. we had the pre-Christmas time, and then we had the post-Christmas time. So pre-Christmas time, I spent a lot of time with iCut and Payload.
Oh yeah.
So a CMS, a headless proper CMS, and that is crazy to say proper CMS.
Yeah.
That is opposed to years and years of using Webflow, prior to that WordPress, and now Payload, and it just.
What was the biggest kind of like holy crap? What have I been missing out on?
So with Payload, you can define like super custom properties. You know how in Webflow you have image property, text property, like select whatever. With Payload, we just have like super custom properties. I don't want to reveal too much. I will, but not today. But it's like very custom, like any property type that you want. And then within the same CMS item, you are not limited to one of them or 5 of them. You can just add as many as you want.
Infinite,
so basically,
nested, right? Is that what you're talking about?
You can nest stuff. So I'm nesting code components within articles with properties going next to them, and just like in a free form, and just like it's nice. And it just works, and it's super like customizable. Like I can make essentially an article can be like super custom. There is no limitation, and we are rendering it, by the way, still within the Webflow CMS. So we are adding everything, mixing it with Webflow CMS.
I was going to say, what's rendering this? Is it a Next.js website or?
I believe so. This is done by iCut. He wrote the whole rendering.
But then how are you getting it into Webflow?
I should check it. I don't know.
Be careful with your Rubik's Cube because it's right next to the microphone.
Oh, yeah, yours as well. But mine is probably much more sensitive. Yeah. I should ask him more. I don't know the specifics. I don't want to give a dumb answer.
Welcome to the future. Well, welcome to code, the flexibility of writing your own code and owning your own, whatever.
Welcome to open source.
Yeah. Although I wonder how long, because it's Payload, they got bought by Framer. I wonder how long.
By Figma. Yeah.
Figma.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to change
Well, it's
that.
open source, and what we have is more than enough for us. And also like changing CMS. I mean, I know it won't be like it's super, super easy, but it's not going to be too difficult. We are now in the different realm. We are operating with like, in a different level. We are dealing with code. And I asked iCut, like, how difficult would it be to move away from Payload because they are bought by Figma? I had the same exact question, and he was like, the most annoying part would be the content. I was like, okay, that doesn't sound too bad. Because we won't have like a lot.
Yeah, because like my personal website, samuelgregory.co.uk, is built on Next.js, and the whole website is built around Payload, like their starter template, and it's very much embedded in the website. either you're using a headless version or something like this, that it would be a pain to redo my website in any other CMS. I think. I mean, I'll just chuck
No
AI at it
problem.
and
Like
we'll figure it out.
you just have like 20 AI agents going on, doing the work piece by piece. This is what I'm seeing more and more. Like people coming with bigger and bigger screens for more and more AI agents to run simultaneously and talk to simultaneously and review their work, which is getting really fun. Like was here and he had like 3 screens with like multiple agents, and he was just talking all the time, and very often like very technical, like saying like doing something in a very specific way. But yeah, that's I guess the new coding era, which we will be talking about.
Yeah, for sure. Any other news?
Well, there's a lot. I want to show what I did for Christmas. For my clients.
Oh, your Christmas cards. Yeah.
So every year I send a Christmas card to my clients, and this is the one from this year. So it's not perfect. We had like timing issues, and it's Christmas time.
I have to ask, what is it? It says 12026. What's that number relevant to?
So it's, instead of the year 2026, it's 12,026. It's a calendar mostly popularized by Kurzgesagt. It's a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And the whole thing is, instead of creating a whole new calendar, let's add the number 1, which is 10,000 years, to the calendar to have a different starting point, which is roughly around the time the civilization we know it as today with agriculture has started. It's about 10 to 12,000 years ago. So when you say it's this year, it's like you're not celebrating the birth of Christ, you're celebrating the start of the civilization, but using the same calendar without messing things up. I mean, it's still Merry Christmas. It's still like, with the Christmas tree. By the way, do you see on the Christmas tree, we have Webflow logo, we have Blender. This is what we used for creating this tree with. We have Figma, we have my agency, we have Flowing, we have Unicorn Studio. So we added some.
No Cmd+AI logo though.
That's true. Shame on me. Shame on me. Next, by the way, like Cmd+AI logo would be so perfect. It would just work so perfectly, to hang it. But yes, and this is a alpha channel video made in Blender, and then by the way, the main showstopper is this. Like you pull it down, and then
shake of the snow.
The Christmas song plays, and the snow with WebGL slows down. And I sent this to my clients, and every client got their own like specific messaging with their own like screenshot of the thing. Like I did it for every single one of them. It took me hours and hours to do it for all the clients, but
worth it.
Worth it, yeah.
Watch the money just come rolling in now. They'll be like, you know what?
Snowing, like the money coming down like the snow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I didn't do one this
year. It was good fun.
I was too busy this year, but yeah.
Yeah, we did 2 actually. We did this, and we did also another one, if I can find it quickly here on our half-launched platform. Well, we have launched, but we are still in beta. Let me show you the other one we have. So we did also this one. This card, where is the link to it? I don't have the link, and anyway, actually I have. Yeah, so you see, this is some WebGL effect.
That was brand new, was it? That one, this is the one you made this year. But you've used that in the previous year, though. This is like an old.
No,
model.
This is not old. This is new. Oh. Yeah, and you see, like we have some GSAP here. We have this WebGL effect, and then when you press T on your keyboard, this thing comes up where you can like actually change the properties of the tree. Just, I mean, it's kind of fun, and you could like do whatever you want.
Whoa, very cool.
Yeah, like background article. It's a lot of fun creating these. I love it.
It's a chance to just do something fun and creative, right?
Yeah, I love it. I love doing that. So that's been what has been going on before Christmas. Obviously, we have stuff to talk about that happened after Christmas.
Like what?
Well, we'll get into it.
Should we start? Because I'm just mindful that we've got an hour and 15 minutes before you need to shoot. So we were going to do a race with the Rubik's Cube. But I feel like we won't have time.
Well, we have 2 minutes.
We have literally 2 minutes. Should we should time it. We should time it. Don't start. Oh no.
I'm not starting. I mean, we see the live. It's at 11. Use a timer.
No, because it's just whoever finishes first, right? Basically, I got a Rubik's Cube for Christmas, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to learn how to do a Rubik's Cube because it's always escaped me. And I will say the magic kind of goes after you learn how to do it, but then you just work on your speed, and then you get the chicks. Do you know what I mean? Then the girls come rolling in once you know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So should we give it a go?
Like the snowflakes down.
Exactly. Should we give it a go? Right, I've messed this up.
Yeah, I'm very rusty on it. Very, very rusty.
I'll give you a minute to look at what you've got going on, and then we'll
no, it's okay. We can go on. We can.
All right.
We can do it. I have mixed it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Which color do you start with, by the way?
I start with a daisy.
What is daisy?
Oh, wow, there we go. See, you do a different thing to me. Different technique to me.
Okay.
Should try and get this so you can see what I'm doing, but yours seems to be a lot louder than mine. See, now I've already forgotten which one.
Okay, so I'm doing yellow. This is what I start with, and I mentioned I'm really rusty on this.
So you don't know the daisy trick then?
No, I don't know. I learned it from a PDF a long time ago. This is like prior to YouTube. Well, not prior, but I didn't have YouTube access, so I did it with a PDF, and it was okay. But last time I did it, I messed it up.
White. Yeah.
So I'm not really fast, and I'm not trying to do it super fast now because I'm scared of messing it up. Yeah.
I'm trying to do it super fast. I've already forgotten kind of how to do it. Where are you at? I'm not looking up yet because I'm afraid to look up. But where are you at?
Well, I think I messed it up the first part. See, I did. Yeah, so I did mess it up because I got a bit unlucky.
Okay.
That's the thing. So you get also unlucky with it. That's what most people don't know.
That's how I got my best speed. I got lucky with it, and and I got.
Is this going to be a fail? Yeah, I should have done it before the show, just to check that I remember.
See, I've already got lucky. I can see I've already got lucky. So, and like that. Okay. Right, now I've forgotten how to do this. Is it this one? Oh my god, yours is so loud.
Yeah.
See, now I've genuinely forgotten. So I've got my second layer. and my white, but I'm not. And I've got my yellow top, but how the hell? I've forgotten. See, my mind's just gone blank. I think. Oh, I know. Right. Okay. I think that's that. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Shit the bed.
Okay, so
See, I totally messed it up.
Yeah, the first time I got unlucky and I messed it up. So I basically did it twice, but now it's done. So if
You've done
you
it.
look, yeah, now it's done.
Balls. Very good.
But it took me I messed it up in the middle. Yeah.
See, I just totally drew a blank on the next step because I haven't done it. I haven't got this far in a while. But
so
it is what it is.
As you do it, I'm gonna show the audience if somebody is watching something cool. So what you can do with it is creating a flower. So what I'm going to do is
that's the daisy. That's what I said about the daisy.
This, and this. So I'm doing the same move 4 times. And now you have kind of like this flower thing. And this is what you present. You give somebody a flower, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a very geeky thing. They should. I mean, if they don't appreciate it, they don't. Another type that you can create is this type of flower. I don't know. I call it flower. It's just kind of like a mix of colors, and it's really nice.
Why am I not getting this? Maybe I've got the wrong. I'm doing the wrong algorithm. Because they're called algorithms, aren't they?
So yes, and these are essentially kind of like pre-computed moves, right? So one thing is cool about Rubik's Cube, it has like a lot of different combinations. So this is a combination. The solved one is one of the combinations. So how many combinations? I believe it's like 43 to the power of 80. Let me actually double check that because I'm rusty on it. Okay, cool. Number of Rubik's Cube combinations. Is it? Yeah, it's 43 to the power of. How many is it? They're not showing it.
Okay. Oh, fuck. If I just completely mess that up. No, I haven't. Cool.
43 to the power.
Okay. I've got it. We really went off piste here. I wonder how many viewers are still stuck.
It's 18. Okay. Yeah. We have some viewers. So nice. Good job. So this is okay. Let me give you a few fun facts. This is one of the combinations, right? This is what we consider the solved combination. This is 43 to the power of 18. So this is 43 with 18 digits in front of it. That's a huge number. That number is so big that there is a likelihood of this combination, I'm just randomly doing something, this combination being completely unique in the history of Rubik's Cube and in the history of the future of humankind. Meaning that nobody will ever have this ever again. That's
so hard to believe.
Yes.
Because it's just that. You know?
Well, it's even crazier with playing cards, because that's 52 factorial. That's a bigger number. Yeah. But even with this, the number is really big. So now when you say we have a big pool of like big number, right? And the solved version is one of these numbers. What is the maximum amount of moves that you need to go from any combination to the solved one? So what is the maximum distance from any of these two combinations?
Yeah.
And they computed that. And it's called the God number. That's Rubik's Cube's God number, which is 20. Which means you need, on theory, 20 moves from any combination to get it solved. So if you were a supercomputer in your head, you could look at this and say, if I do these 20 moves, I'll get to this solved. And this is what these robotic supercomputers do. They look at it, they pre-compute it, they know the exact routes to take, which is under 20. The maximum is 20, under 20 to get it to solve. That's how you get sub-second. Yes, these robots do it under a second to solve it. So that's really cool. And just one last fact, we have the solved version. There is an algorithm that you can learn. I have forgot it. I knew it, but I have forgot it, which is the opposite of the solved number, the solved version. So it is the chaos mode. So it is everything twisted to be in the furthest distance from solved, like being at the number 20, which is the corners are all twisted and these are also all twisted. So everything is in the position of solved, but twisted.
Got it.
It looks also really amusing because it's kind of like super colorful. So you should check it out, learn it. It's just like one algorithm. You solve it, and then you go from the solved version to the complete opposite, which is I don't know. I'm geeking out on this stuff. It's quite fun.
I want to redeem myself with getting that was an atrocious performance. I was getting it quite consistently about 3.5 minutes when I was doing it a lot, and I've done it for a little while. But I still think you might have been faster than me, even though you've not got a speed cube.
Yeah, my cube is very, very loud.
And again, sometimes you just get lucky, don't you? You know, sometimes it's just, you know, you might not. We should do the news.
Okay, so we are canceling the show and we are going into a Rubik's cube race.
See, look how lucky I am here. Look how I've been that second row is almost all done.
Yeah, so. But you which color do you start from? White, right?
I complete white first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what everybody does. So let me tell you, this is me confessing.
Now, aren't you?
I'm confessing right now on a live show that I start with, as you see, yellow. So I do white last.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like it
doesn't matter, but
it's one of those things. If you can be color agnostic, then that's better. See, already I've got a cross there, and this is where I can now finish it quite easily. So where am I?
Yeah.
Red, blue, orange. There we go. See.
Okay, so I got it for the second time now.
I fucked it up already, man. Yeah, I fucked it up already. God damn it!
So done for the second time.
Yeah, I fucked it up.
Yeah, it happens. Especially.
Oh, right. We need to crack through these now.
Yes, let's go, bro.
Right.
My record was 47 seconds or 46 seconds.
I've never got sub-minute.
Yeah, but I got lucky. Anyway, so we got some AI show to run and to start.
You're flustered now. You're like, ah.
Yeah. Like the adrenaline in my it's crazy. Okay. I'm preparing for the intro. Okay, so all right, you're ready? Let's go with the intro and we'll get into the videos. So this week we have a big Tailwind drama. Andrej Karpathy, the top G and the AI god, is feeling behind. Dynamic context for cursor is a story, and how creator of Claude Code is using Claude Code. This in today's episode. This is Cmd+AI. I'm Kaparthy.
And I'm Samuel, and this is a week in AI design and dev.
Awesome. Cool. Let's start with site of the week. But before I start, let me get my screen prepared also.
Before we start, if you're on YouTube, give us a like. I'm coming onto YouTube now to spot you, to see if you're gonna. How many we got on YouTube? Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Give me like.
What is this? All right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Join us on YouTube and please write something in a comment. Well, not something. Like, what do you
Tell
think?
us where you're at. Tell us where you're
Yeah.
at in the world.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So for this week's website, what was in my notes? I messed it up. Anyway. All right. So I have a super, super cool website to share with you this week. And this one is a bit special. It's not completely new, but it's in solidarity with my people. I'm originally Iranian, living in Germany, in solidarity with them, being on the streets and protesting for their rights. I'm going to show a website that is about history, like some old Iranian history, and it's super cool. Like this website, I cannot wait to show you. It's amazing. It's insane. So this website is by Getty, and this is what we see at the start, and then we basically continue to scroll. There are some texts about this old civilization, and this old building, whatever you call it, we call it Persepolis. It's Persepolis, and then we press enter. And then we continue scrolling, we fly, and at the start, this is just a video being played. So this is just like static frames.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where it gets started. This is all 3D with insane level of details, going through how all of this Persepolis was. In Farsi, it is called Takht Jamshid. And here you can interact with it. You can see how it is today. You can read about it. And you can also just scroll past and see the whole glory. You see the color red being used a lot. It's also showing power. It's one of my favorite colors, by the way. And it's just, the website is really beautiful. And the level of details in the 3D is genuinely insane. By the way, you see how huge these doors are. This is just unbelievable.
What's the I'm looking at the photos of how it looks now, and it's obviously ruins now. What's the importance of this building, this site?
So this is in a very old ancient city called Shiraz, which was the capital of the old Iran. Yeah, so this is essentially the capital palace in a way. And this is where the whole political power was, and here we see a lot about that. So you see these models and these scroll interactions are absolutely amazing. And then here we are. This is probably one of the biggest areas here. It's huge. It's insane. Unfortunately, I've never been there in person, but at least
it's in the middle of the desert, basically.
Yes, it is. It is kind of in the southwest of Iran. Iran has a very we have from green all the way to desert. We have it all. I'm from the place with a lot of mountains and snow, and we have minus 20 degrees in winter, which is what we have right now in Germany. So yeah, and here we see the old dress and whatnot. So yeah, it's beautiful. And now the menu. Look at this menu. You click it, and then you are presented with this beautiful interactive 3D map. When I say map, actual map. This is the point. The menu is an actual map of the whole palace and everything around it. And you can read about it. The website also is available in multiple languages, so you can change the language.
Yeah, I was going to say hit the settings, because I noticed you can reduce the motion, high contrast as well. So
large text. And this is what people typically when you show a website like this, people are fuck this. This is like so difficult to use. I don't like websites that take the control and everything. Here you have a good amount of like accessibility settings. If you don't like to experience it this way, you can do it in other ways. And yeah, the menu, I really like the menu, and also the art indexed, which is kind of like a slider. Yeah, it's really cool. And this is, by the way, let me talk about sliders for a second. Like half of the sliders I see are not half, like 99% of the sliders I see on the web are incomplete in my, like from what I expect them to be. A slider to me should work with my mouse, with my touchpad. Not just the mouse, but like with my trackpad. When I scroll with my fingers, it should scroll on to the sides. This is what I mean. Like right now I'm scrolling to the sides and this is working, but I can also grab and drag it. So there are like multiple ways of doing it. I can also use the top navigation to navigate it. So it has it all. And then on top of all of that, I can scroll vertically. So right now I'm scrolling up and down. Like up and down or right or left does the same thing, and it's to be expected because this is just a section. It's not a page to be scrolled. And I wish to see more sliders with this like level of control.
Well, are they using
and details?
Are they using a library? Can you infer what they're using?
I haven't checked actually for the slider, but
because Swiper is one of the most popular.
So maybe from the classes, I don't see.
So look at all the you know, data attributes and things like that. Like if you scroll, have you got your plugin that tells you about the libraries and things they use?
Yes, I will check that, but it doesn't say like it doesn't show these like smaller libraries that are like a slider library most of the time.
It might be bundled.
I don't see much here, so I don't think it is a library. Even the navigation here, we see an like a list, and then we see like touch action, pan Y, cursor grab. That's like interesting, like the classes they have. And if we look at the tech stack that they are using, wait, which one was it? Because the icon changes. Oh, they have, okay, let me actually reload, because that one sometimes takes a second to show the actual libraries. You see more loaded. No, we don't see a lot. So they are using GSAP. The library, the slider might be a GSAP, a custom GSAP slider.
Yeah.
And they also have this this video or like sequence of images to be played, which is an interesting choice, by the way. They don't bring you into the actual 3D right away. They probably wanted to fly you over the whole map, but they didn't want to reduce the detail here, so they are using pre-rendered images.
I'm just playing around now. Where is the slider? Which little area?
So if you go to the menu and then art index, that's where you see the slider.
Okay, cool. Got it. Yeah, I was just gonna see.
And this is done by Getty. Getty, like you can go and read about them. They do this type of stuff. They have like really cool like projects they've done. So yeah. And this is a part of like the old Persia, ancient Iran, and the classical world. So they do these kind of like studies and exhibitions, and then they do also like 3D and like digital versions of them. And this one was about Persepolis.
Really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. And obviously you can read more here about every part of it. It's so nice. Also, I love this interaction. You see, when I get to the end of like a horizontal scrolling section, there is this like elastic interaction. So does tell me this is the end of it. Like these little details, like a lot of websites lack this level of details, and this is what is missing so often.
Yeah, very cool.
I'll link it below and go check it out. It will probably make your laptop's fan turn on, or like your PC, whatever, because it's quite heavy, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Cool. Are we moving on to Tailwind?
Oh yeah.
Are we?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, cool. Well, who? Wait, do you wanna?
Wait. I had my screen.
Okay, yeah. Let me just do that and then remove. Okay, cool. Well, who knew that having significantly more users would mean who would earn much less money? This has caused Tailwind, Tailwind, to lay off 75% of their engineers. But let's see how they made money in the first place. So, you don't know what Tailwind is. This is their website. It's basically a utility class library. So instead of writing CSS, they have a bunch of classes that determine this is display flex direction column, items, align item center, various things like that. It just means you don't write a lot of CSS. And traditionally, as a developer back in the old days, back in the old days, if I'm using Tailwind here, I would come to these docs and I would press Command K because I got a lovely search thing here. If I want to do some box shadow, I'd search box shadow, and I'd learn a little bit, how to customize the box shadow and what it all does. And it's a great place to learn how to use it. Thing is, if you've been using AI to do any sort of coding recently, whether you know or not, AI is probably choosing to use Tailwind to do all of your CSS, all of your styling and stuff like that. And what that means is that I'm no longer coming to this, because instead of learning how to use, how to make the box shadow bigger by going box shadow MD or make it inset, I'm just asking AI to do it for me, and it's just figuring out all of the classes. And what you might have noticed, or they don't want to push it too hard, but what you might have noticed is that there's opportunity here to click plus. And because this is an open source framework, this is all free, but how they make their money is things like this Tailwind Plus, which is a subscription-based sort of advanced component system which uses Tailwind, and people can buy these, and companies can bootstrap with this library to help kickstart their product, but they don't need to do that anymore because AI is taking care of it for them. Plus, you're not coming onto this website to even know that it existed in the first place. Similarly, if I go, let's try a different thing. This is their book, which is apparently a very, very good book. I've not written it, but this is another way that they can make money. And you're finding out about all of this when you're on the website, when you're going to the website. But alas, AI is preventing you from going to their website and therefore converting as a paid customer. So the paradox here is that whilst if you were to look at the number of users or number of downloads of Tailwind, you'll see that massively increase over the last couple of years. But what you're also seeing is conversely is the income and the income from the company is going down. And what that's meant is their co-founder, Adam, has come to this realization through, maybe I can get the GitHub issue. It all stemmed from this GitHub issue, which was closed, which is just a small text file that allows their documentation to be more easily understood by LLMs. And there's been a lot of frustration from the community as to why this hasn't been merged in. And it all stems from Adam coming to realization that basically says it's something he really wants to add, but he's just had to lay off 75% of their engineers because he's witnessed that they've only got 6 months worth of runway left in their of revenue in the company. So to protect the company, to give the engineers a severance package, he's had to make the harsh decision to fire. I mean, they only had 4 engineers anyway, but they've had to fire 3 to save that and to give them severance. And also just the fact that this is supporting the very thing that is killing the company. So whilst he's not completely ruled it off, he's not removed it from the table, it's like we have more important things to figure out right now, and that is, how are we going to make money, given that we are used so widely on the web right now because of AI. So it's a real tricky situation, and I think more and more companies are going to see this trend, this difficult situation where the traditional model for earning revenue, which is open source something, give something away for free, Next.js being a perfect example of that. You use Next.js, here, have Next.js, totally free, but where do you end up using that? You end up using it on Vercel, and you end up paying for Vercel. So there's payment on that back end, which is, fine. This is business. This is how it works. You feed the free thing, you get the money on the back end. But now this is no longer working, certainly not working for Tailwind. So it's a sad state of affairs, but this is where we're at in the world of AI and open source.
Yeah, this is quite interesting, and just one thing to correct: they are not a subscription-based tool. The
Plus,
you buy it, the Plus, you just buy it one time, and maybe this is something that they could add. Subscription. Well, people hate subscriptions, but
one time
also payment. So the issue is 2 things. One is that people are not going to the website in the first place because AI is doing the job, and people are not, many are not even aware of Tailwind being used. Like, the AI is completely
It's
masking that layer.
Exactly.
AI just chooses that for you, and you just ignore what the AI chat is saying, probably. So that's the first issue, people not buying it because they never see it in the first place, even though there are significantly more users. But the second issue is what they are selling is kind of like simple templates, simple UI components that AI can't build perfectly fine, but good enough in most cases. And that's probably what people are doing. Instead of buying a really well-engineered template, they're just prompting AI over and over and over again. So this is also interesting because the money is now going towards the AI companies, even though they are also not making a lot of money. That's also, I find it to be quite funny. So Tailwind is not making money. OpenAI is not making a lot of money. And at the end, like, the UI is broken, and the good stuff that Tailwind has made are not being used. Instead, you just duct tape some stuff randomly AI put together. That's where we are at.
And this has caused me, because I think we all need to be thinking about this, because this isn't a Tailwind issue. This isn't a Tailwind problem. This is an industry-wide problem where the information we give out, the sort of the models that have worked for so long just don't cut it anymore, right? So we all need to especially you and I, Kaparthy, as content creators, we're giving out free information on YouTube. Where in this kind of pipeline does it matter that people don't even go to YouTube anymore, because they can just search based on the free information we're giving out? They can just search it on AI, using AI.
Ask AI.
And our contribution to the world knowledge is being sucked up, and we're not able to then convert people to whatever it is.
And in 2 ways, by the way. Like, in one way, it's ending up as the AI training data, which will be then outputted in a very generic way. It might not be as like exact as we put it out there. And the second one is AI is just reading the transcript of whatever we put out there, and the person will never even
know who it's from.
See how,
yeah. And it begs the question, like, who's next? Because this isn't, like I say, this isn't a Tailwind only problem. This is an industry wide problem. And I think the categories that we thought about that were that, you know, the criteria that this falls into is really those companies that have a free lead magnet that that's information based, or that is, like, again, open source based, that they rely on people coming through to learn about it to then sell it on the back end. And luckily, you know, we spent a bit of time thinking about who's next. Luckily, a lot of these companies, a lot of these free open source software have already kind of not fixed the problem, but Next.js has Vercel. Shad was just recently bought by, we just looked at it before the call, I've already forgotten. Maybe it's Vercel again. Maybe they've already.
It's Vercel, I believe. Yeah, V0.
Vercel,
yeah.
So
also by Vercel.
There are some, and that did get me thinking. Like, it did get me thinking of a silver lining that, you know, we're always facing change through history, through you know, we're always confronted with a new paradigm that shakes things up a bit. And I think all this has done is really just prove that this model of offering something for free, hoping to sell it on the back end, just does not work in this day and age. And while I don't have necessarily the answer to it all, I'm optimistic that we'll just find another way to support all this. Maybe it is that these companies are just less inclined to give away stuff for free because they just know there's no route to monetization because of AI. I don't know how long that might take, but it does. Again, it's cyclical, right? There's bound to be a solution. It's not sustainable. It was never sustainable to just give things away for free, right? So I don't know. There's one aspect of me that's just like, I wonder, like, this can't end this way. But it is sad all the same. You know, people lost their jobs, and it's also just, like I say, it's very paradoxical that something could be so popular, everyone's using it. Maybe we're not even knowing it yet. They are more popular than ever. Yet, you know, not a lot of actually, they are not being able to sustain themselves for more than 6 months, which is crazy. This also, like, makes me think about like the growth and distribution channels that you have. So this tool's distribution has been powered by AI in a way. Like, AI is choosing the tool, like the library, and just choosing it and using it, in opposed to the users, like actual people's ability to choose it, like consciously, and make a decision, maybe help the company or pay their premium products. So that's a question. But also on the template selling side, so whether it is a full template or just a component, this also makes me think of, I think this is what Sam Altman said, for all products to think about what AI does to their product. So I'm just paraphrasing here, but will the next AI, which will be more powerful and better, whatever, like the next updates that are getting better and better, will that make your product better or worse? And in case of Shadsian and Tailwind and Shadsian as well, and others, in many ways, as AI is getting better, the value you get from these products is kind of decreasing because AI can do it. Even though I understand like AI is literally stealing from them, but unfortunately, this is what we are facing. AI is stealing and is getting better and better at stealing, and getting better and better at recreating what has been already created. So the value of these products is diminishing as the AI is getting better. And this is true about anything that you are trying to do. So
whether you're a web designer or a developer or have a tool or have a company or have a startup idea, you need to think about this. Like, is the next update of AI going to break you or make you a super like powerful tool? And it's, you know, it's in your best interest to align yourself with AI, not against AI. Even if it's a bubble, yes, it is, and even when it pops, still the value will be there, which is like these level of automation and this change in the detail that we will work with. So instead of code, we'll work in a different level. So it's really hard. I mean, I'm building a UI library, right? While we see a UI library is going out of business. So it is kind of crazy. But I'm trying to align myself in a way that we build more and better stuff as the AI is getting more powerful. That's what I'm trying to lean to. Instead of like a small system, I'm thinking about how can I build stuff that are better and better as the AI gets better and better. How can we scale with that? So, but it's quite difficult.
So we'll leave links to everything down below in the description when the clip comes out. But it'd be interesting to know what you guys think, whether you are already thinking about this, whether you have some ideas on how to again change this pricing, this mental model on how we earn revenue and whatever, because AI is here to say even if AI bubble bursts, it just means that it's what do they call it when the stock market balances out? You know, it's just a correction. It's just a correction.
Yeah. Well, so, after a bubble, I don't know if it's a correction that happens, because then
we're not just going to
crashes.
We're not just going to get rid of AI just because it bursts.
No, we are not.
AI is here. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Right? It's going to just find its place. So, let's see. Good luck to Tailwind, and let's see how it goes on. There was a third way that you can give them money, and that's just by physically sponsoring them. You know, if you have money.
Oh yes.
To just give
good
them.
Point. Yes.
You know, but Let's move on to Andrej Karpathy.
Yeah, let's.
Do you want to take this one?
Sure. Let me. Actually, you should go for the tweet. I'll just go with the intro.
Yeah.
Let me. Okay. So, Andrej Karpathy. Andrej
Karpathy.
Yeah, Andrej Karpathy. This is, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so okay, Andrej Karpathy. If this guy feels behind, we are cooked. So Andrej Karpathy, he was the head of Tesla AI at Tesla, and he's one of the co-founders or like founders, early founders of OpenAI. And he just tweeted that he feels extremely behind when it comes to development in the age of AI. And by the way, this is the person who called vibe coding, and you know more about the tweet. So let me know, how is that he's feeling so behind?
Yeah. So basically,
this
has got 16.2 million views. This tweet, so it's a pretty big deal.
Insane.
I've never felt this much behind as a programmer. The profession is being dramatically refactored as the bits contributed by the programmer are increasingly sparse and between. I have a sense that I could be 10x more powerful if I just properly string together what has become available over the last year, roughly. And a failure to claim the boost feels decidedly like skill issue. So I won't read it all, but he mentions a few things here that
maybe you should. Actually, it's very interesting. Like, why not? Like, let's go. I love this.
There's a new programmable layer of abstraction to master, in addition to the usual layers below. Now, this is very interesting, involving agents, sub-agents, their prompts, context, memories, modes, permissions, tools, plugins, skills, hooks, MCP, LSP, /commands, workflows, ID integrations, and a need to build an all-encompassing mental model for the strengths and pitfalls of fundamentally stochastic, fallible, unintelligible, and changing entities suddenly emerge. This is a too long sentence, by the way, Andrej. Intermingled with what used to be good old-fashioned engineering. So what he's saying here, just in this little bit, is that there's all of these things, and a lot of these things are introduced and are used by Claude Code, hooks, skills, tools, plugins, whatever. So he's certainly alluding to Claude Code being the thing, the de facto tool for all this. But there's so much that you need to learn, not only from like a technical perspective of just understanding what all of these tools do, what all of these things do, but also the mental model around how to use them. Because it's all well and good knowing how to use a hammer, what a hammer does, how to hold it, how to aim it. All this, it's not. You've got to rethink. You've got to re-understand. You've got to throw everything you've understood out the window because it's not relevant in this new age of prompt engineering or AI-assisted engineering. Clearly, some powerful alien tool was handed around. Except it comes with no manual and everyone has to figure out how to hold it and operate it. There you go. While the resulting magnitude 9 earthquake is rocking the profession, roll up your sleeves to not fall behind. And I'll throw myself in I'll pat myself on the back here. This is something I've been really immersing myself in. Like, we're dealing with so much right now. The tools, the mental model around it, the industry, not just the industry, but the planet in general, the economy, everything is just moving at the moment. And there's a mad bum rush to figure it all out and be the person or be the leaders to figure it all out. But no one knows. No one's figured it all out at the moment. But his message to everyone is like, get stuck in because something big is already happening over the last year. So quite a profound and interesting tweet that came out just after Christmas, and a lot of people were talking about it. And
this is very interesting, especially like that ending, while the resulting magnitude 9 earthquake is rocking the profession. So
especially after what we just talked about with Tailwind.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So the good thing is, or like the good news, not the good thing, it's the good news is you're not alone in this. We are not alone in this.
True.
Nobody has figured it out. If he hasn't figured it out, if Andrej Karpathy doesn't know how to, move forward with all of that, that's kind of like, okay, reassuring, because I feel very similar. Like, I see you use Claude Code. I see my, the friend and developer, he uses like 10 agents, well, more than 10 agents at the time. And I'm sitting here with Cursor. I feel like I'm so behind. And then I show what I made to my students or like to other people who do Webflow, and they're like, wait, you're already there using that. So they feel behind. I feel behind. is like, these agents, I cannot do what I want them to do. So he feels like it's not going where it's going, and Andrew as well. So this is very interesting, but also potentially something to be figured out. And also I want to mention what the Primeagen has been talking about, the fact that all of this is constantly changing. So we can't go in with the mental model thinking that, okay, I'm going to learn agents and these toolings around AI and these essentially workflows. These are all workflows, right? That I'm going in, I'm learning these workflows, and I will be the god here. I will create whatever. The problem is it's changing. Like the next month, there is something new, and the changes are rapid and big. It's not like a small change. Like the whole new paradigm shifts every 3 months or so is introduced to the industry. Like as a programmer, it feels like, crazy. It feels like you don't know where to go, and it's not clear.
And because of the horrendous capitalist society that we live in, you've also got grifters and chancers trying to sell you on their system. There's the system that works. They've done the research, and we spoke about fatigue before the show. Like, you know, it's real. The feeling of being left out, and some people are capitalizing on. And this is potentially a different topic altogether, but it's something I've been tuned into recently, of just like, oh my god, like, what, there's so many people making you feel left out to buy their product, or to comment "give me please" in the comment section below, to like get their system that they've used. And no one knows. And I think it just comes down to you getting stuck in and trying to be optimistic and curious about it, and trying to get ahead, but it will settle. We will still figure it out. I think one of the biggest problems with AI, and I had a call earlier with someone, because you can approach it at such a low level or a very, very high level. You can ask AI to implement your whole feature, or you can get it to change a line of code. And what that means is people's, and that's just in code, right? Let alone video production, let alone script writing or any kind of other creative thing. It means that everyone's got their own interpretations of whether it's good, whether it's bad, or how you should use it, how you shouldn't use it. Like, no one can tell you how you should or shouldn't use it. It's just, by its very nature, so fallible, so indeterministic, so whatever. So again, just that encouragement of just try and stay curious, Plus, not everyone's here to change the world. Maybe you can sit back and chill, and then when all the big wigs like Andrej Karpathy has figured out how we should use some sort of stuff, then scrub up on it.
Well, it's hard to sit and not do anything, because
no, of course
we are still like working, right, with the old tools and trying to use these new tools. Like, I built a website recently, and I thought I would do it all in Cursor, but then I had to go back in Webflow because of like more reliable things around, having a platform that I'm familiar with. While I could just potentially do everything with AI and then ask it to host it somewhere, and all of that. It's just a lot to figure out.
A lot to figure
out. Right. And then also there is the joy about it. Like, the things that Andrew mentioned, there are a lot of it is around toolings around AI, and not building the thing itself. And that is also a little bit about like, having fun with it, or like, the lack of fun existing in it. I did enjoy going in Webflow in the past few days to build a few layouts, even though I could absolutely ask AI in Cursor to do it, but I knew it wouldn't like one-shot it, and I would have to go into like the mode of fixing it and prompting to fix bugs, and I just don't enjoy that as much.
Yeah, and we all like familiarity, right? And it's nice to go back into that. And just, I don't want to dwell on this too much, but just that idea of knowing what to build. Now, my gut instinct was to respond to that and say, we already know what we want to build. We want to build websites. We want to build apps. But then something in the back of my head said, and it goes back to this magnitude 9 earthquake that he mentions, in that I think and what I mentioned earlier as well about the economic climate that we're in is being shaken up. I've said it before. I've said SaaS is dead. And we're all out here trying to build tools that we can sell to people, because that's all we know. That's the only way we know how to make money, right? With this whole idea that people can just build their own tools, we probably don't know what we should be building. We're probably going to be building very different things in the next few years than what we have been building. We've been building products, we've been building tools. Maybe we're not going to be coding that. Nobody knows. And I think this just all goes back to this tweet here that's specifically talking about development. we're in a very interesting time at the moment, and it's all so much stuff. It's all happening at once that it's just, yeah, it's hard to not feel tired, and it's hard to feel steady. Like we should all be feeling, well, we are all feeling the craziness that is AI. But yeah, I honestly think we will be building. We don't know what we should be building. That will figure it. Will be checked. It will. Sorry, I honestly think we don't know what we should be building because the future is so uncertain. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Everything's fine.
Said everyone like before, catastrophe hitting.
Yeah.
We'll be all right.
Yeah. Saying that, Boris Cherny, the creator of Claude Code, has, and I actually haven't gone through this. I wanted to try and go through it before the show, but it's something
Let's go through it together. Yeah.
Let's go through it together as a family. So, but he invented Claude Code, and I just wanted to say that although he invented Claude Code, Claude Code would not be what it is if it wasn't for the team around him. So this is not to necessarily say that they are what they say goes, but there's absolutely something you'll probably learn from this, and you might learn a thing or two, as will I, just kind of going through this. So he runs 5 Claudes in parallel in his terminal. I number my tabs 1 to 5 and use system notifications to know when Claude Code is input. So I'm guessing work trees play a big part in his to be able to do this, unless he's using different Git repos for, but I guess this is building Claude Code. So I reckon this is work tree. So I have a video on work trees on my own channel if you want to go check that out. But it allows you to run different Claude Code instances all working on different features. So yeah, my experience in this, it can get very confusing because you think, fuck, where was I? What was I doing in that one tab? What where was 5 is quite a lot. I struggled with 3, put it that way. I also run 5 to 10 Claudes on Claude.code. So that is Claude for web. You can also achieve this with the desktop app. It looks and behaves exactly the same. This is a really nice way to just send off something, and it creates a pull request on your GitHub repo, and you don't need to run it locally. As I code in my terminal, I'll often hand off local sessions to web using @ which is something you literally type @ and then it will send it off to the web, which is quite cool. Or manual kickoff sessions in Chrome. Sometimes it will teleport back and forth. So basically, he's got up to 15 tasks running in parallel, which is quite mental. Mm-hmm. I use Opus 4.5 with thinking for everything. It's the best coding model I've ever used, and even though it's bigger and slower than Sonnet, since you have to steer it less and it's better tool, it is almost always faster than using a smaller model in the end. Now, he obviously works for Anthropic. He probably has infinite use of Opus 4.5. This is not practical. Really, this is not practical. The price of Opus. But what I do find quite interesting, he's got thinking on for everything. Now you can enable thinking with Option or Alt P, and you can turn enable thinking on. I'm in an open question at the moment. What is the difference between thinking and planning? Because you're not doing both are not doing any code. Thinking tends to think before it implements all in the one shot, whereas planning gives you the opportunity to, thumb up or thumb down. Something I'm discovering, but it is just interesting that he's just got thinking on for everything. Again, he works for Anthropic. This is probably very unachievable by normal people. Our team share a single Claude MD file for the Claude Code repo. We check it into Git, and the whole team contributes multiple times a week. Anytime we see Claude do something incorrectly, we add it. So they're actively contributing to this Claude MD file, which is, I think we should all be doing this. It's not going to work because it will be unique to your way of working. It will be unique to your team's way of working, but it could also be unique to your the way that you use Claude Code. You might prompt it in such a way where it always does. What have you got here? It always uses npm, because of the way you write code. It's a stupid example, but you know what I mean? Like your experience with Claude Code is going to be very different to another person. So your rules are going to be very unique. Fucking hell, we're on number 5. If this is not interesting, let us know. But we can
this is it.
Speed through it. During
I
code
don't care.
review,
this is interesting.
During code review, I will often. Well, I'm hoping I'm providing a contributing something to what he's saying as well, based on my understanding. During a code review, I'll often tag @Claude on my coworkers' PRs to add something to the Claude MD as part of the PR. We use the Claude Code GitHub action, which you can install using /whatever. For this, it's our version of Dan Schipper's compounding engineering. Now, this is something I don't quite understand. So you can @Claude. He says @Claude. I guess he's trying to avoid the Twitter's tagging here. So it's @Claude on my coworker's PR to add something. Add to Claude MD to never use enums. So basically, he's just encouraging. I think he's basically just encouraging number 4 here. I think we use Claude Code GitHub action for this. It's our version. Yeah. Most sessions start in plan mode. There you go. If my goal is to write a pull request, I will use plan mode and go back and forth with Claude until I like its plan. From there, I switch into auto accept mode, and Claude can usually one-shot it. Again, he's probably using Opus, but I will go into I use Opus Plan, which is a hidden plan feature, which is a hidden model. You type /model and then type Opus Plan, and it will unlock. This is literally like secret stuff here. It will unlock whenever you're in plan mode. It will go to Opus, and then it will switch to implementation mode and automatically switch to Sonnet to actually implement that stuff. He's rich; he can do Opus all the way, but that might be a more cost-effective way to do this to get the best out of it. I use /commands for every inner loop workflow that I end up doing many times a day. This saves me from repeating prompting and makes it that Claude can use these workflows too. Commands are checked into Git and live in Claude commands. So inner loop, I don't know what that means. For example, I use commit push PR /command dozens of times a day. The command uses inline bash to pre-compute Git. So I'm struggling with this one, and a few other pieces of info to make the command run quickly and avoid back and forth with the model. Not quite sure on that one. Let me know if you understand that. But what this kind of does is what he's going into here potentially is using sub-agents for every task in the task, because so Claude Code will create tasks. I had an idea today to say for every task, create a sub-agent. So it creates a fresh context. That's the thing about sub-agents. They have completely fresh context. I don't even know if it's possible. I just had the idea earlier, but it seems like he might. Yeah, I don't know. I use a few sub-agents regularly. Code Simplifier simplifies the code after Claude is done working. Verify app has detailed instructions for testing Claude Code end-to-end and so on. Similar to /commands, I think of sub-agents as automating the most common workflows that I do. So he's a big sub-agent user. On Cool Guide. We use post tool hook to, I really want to get into hooks. Post tool hook to format Claude Code's tool. Claude usually generates well-formatted code out of the box, and the hook handles the last 10% to avoid formatting errors. So, okay, so it just runs format, basically, based on some rules that they've got set up. I don't use dangerously skip permissions. Instead, I use permissions to pre-allow common bash commands that I know are safe in my environment to avoid unnecessary permission prompts. Most of these are checked into Claude. So, okay, so yeah. You can basically set a bunch of permissions that it's allowed to run. Instead of giving it, basically, you can just do anything. He's being a bit more controlled about what it can run while it's doing its thing. Claude Code uses all my tools for me. It often searches and posts to Slack via the MCP server, runs BigQuery commands to answer analytic questions using BQCLI. Don't know what that is. Grabs error logs from Sentry. The Slack MCP configuration is checked into our MCP JSON and shared with the team. So what is he saying there? Use all my tools for me. I think he's basically saying that he just does everything from Claude Code, I think, via MCP. Nearly the end. 12. For very long running tasks, I will either A, prompt Claude to verify its work with a background task when it's done. This is something I want to talk about. Use an agent stop hook to do that more deterministically, or use the Ralph Wiggum plugin, originally dreamt up by Jeffrey Huntley. I will use either permission mode, don't ask, or well, he just said he doesn't use that in a sandbox to avoid permission prompts in a session so Claude can cook without being blocked by me. So you kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, this idea of, I think what will be more common is kind of what, what's his name? The guy who built his own agent, PewDiePie, built, where you've got a council of agents all verifying each other's work. I think this might be what he's kind of doing here, like creating a sub-agent to verify others' work, but not to 100% sure.
I ask my AI, like I always give it, like I ask it to rate the code. And sometimes I do it like manually with other AI. And what I've recently started doing is I find like either open sources, like, yeah, I find code that I think would make sense to kind of like compare it to. So I say like, compare this, what you created with this, and then rate it.
Yeah.
And then I also started doing that and putting the end results in an MD file for either for AI to learn or for myself, maybe both of us. Like, so they learn from the code that they did, or sometimes, you know, when you get an error or like you get a bug or something doesn't work out, and then you continue prompting until you get it fixed. I say everything that you learned through like this back and forth, documented in an MD file. Why was it so, and how is that it worked? So I do try to gather these either for myself to learn from, or, you know, I could feed it back to AI in another session if I have something similar.
Yeah, nice. I don't know if you've heard of Ralph Wiggum. It's doing a lot of rounds at the moment, but it was it's basically a task that runs infinitely until the job is done. So and it feeds the result back in. It's just an infinite loop, basically. You can set up max iterations, but if you look at Claude Code, look at plugins, the plugin directory, you'll see Ralph Wiggum. I made a short about it actually, but yeah, it's becoming more popular in the last week. So final tip, probably the most important thing to get great results out of Claude Code, give Claude a way to verify its work. As you were just saying, if Claude has that feedback loop, it will be 2 to 3 times the quality of the final result. So there we go. Again, everyone's going to have their own ways of doing things. Everyone's going to enjoy different ways of working. That might not work for you, but certainly works for them. Can't argue with it.
Still a good read. We should do this more often, like go through an article or something and just read it together.
Yeah, I just don't know. Let us know, viewers, if you think that's boring, because like I was getting bored of hearing my own voice reading all that. So
no,
yeah.
like to me it was like still like there are parts that I don't understand because I'm not that technical yet, but it's still definitely valuable. And this is where I might see an article like this, I might start reading it and then feel like, okay, I can't continue because it's too technical or whatever, and I stop. But I sometimes just watch videos on this, so I instead of reading it myself, I watch the video of somebody reading it, which is often just Primeagen.
I wish I could, obviously literally just show you. And I mean, I probably could, but it would just make this section like 10 times more longer if I'm there showing you exactly how to do it. But I hope
that's interesting. That's the idea for the comment section. Like, just let us know if you would be interested in that.
Yeah, for sure. So another one I haven't necessarily done much research on is the context discovery. Where am I? Am I no longer showing my screen? Context discovery in Cursor. Where are we? Here we go. So I'm not a massive user of Cursor anymore, to be honest. But you might be interested in this. But I am interested in this idea that, particularly around MCPs, that apparently they've figured out a way. 3 days ago? They figured out a way to only use tools and certain aspects that are filling up the context only when they're needed. We've spoken about this with Claude releasing the tool discovery tool, but that's only through that AI. It's not actually something that you and I can use while we're coding and developing these apps. It's something we can use in our API calls, in the apps that we are building, rather than the way that we're building them, if that makes sense. Point is, efficiently loading the only MCP tools needed is something I wanted to scroll. Well, actually, let's have a little look. Turning long tool responses into files. So I guess this is the way of doing it. Referencing chat history during summarization, supporting the agent skills open standard, and treating all integrated terminal sessions as files. So clearly, I don't understand those, but clearly that's one of the ways that they've used to reduce the context. Let's skip forward to number 4 and see what they say about the MCP thing. MCP is helpful for accessing. Do I need to explain anything right now about MCPs?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah. MCPs is just a way of accessing an API with natural language, right? MCPs accessing secure resources behind OAuth that could be production logs, external design files, or internal context, blah, blah, blah. Some MCP servers include many tools, often with long descriptions, which can significantly bloat the context window. And it's terrible when you just don't even need an MCP. Like, it's useful to have the GitHub MCP as an example, but you don't need the GitHub MCP when you're just coding away. You need the GitHub MCP when you're trying to push stuff to GitHub, right? So why it sits there in context is really annoying. Most of these tools go unused, there we go, even though they are always included in the prompt. This compounds if you use multiple MCP servers. It's not feasible to expect every MCP server to optimize for this. We believe it's the responsibility of the coding agents to reduce the context usage. In Cursor, we support dynamic context discovery for MCP by syncing the tool descriptions to a folder. So we've spoken about this, where one of the options is to actually have the documentation or the code, in the actual code that you're writing, in the folder that you're actually working in, and then the AI can look at that and understand it and then use it based on that. So the agent now only receives a small bit of static context, including the name of the tools, prompted to look up tools when the task calls for it. In an A/B test, we found that it runs that called an MCP tool. Hang on, we found that in runs that MCP called. Oh my god, I can't fucking read. You can tell I'm getting tired. We found that in runs that called an MCP tool. This strategy reduced agents by total agent tokens by 46.9%. Where I'm lost here is, you can stick the tool names in a file, but how does it switch on? Can it dynamically switch on MCPs on and off? That's something I don't understand, but apparently they can do that. And I wonder if this is already accessible inside of Cursor right now as well. So I'm not too sure, but it's clearly something everyone's working on, and I definitely welcome it. You got to go in 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So should we just round off with MKBHD?
Yeah,
or dark
we can
matter?
do that. MKBHD. I think we can do MKBHD now, because dark matter, I feel like it will go deeper. But that video from MK,
yeah. So this, I pretty much everyone's watched this, but this is probably one of the best videos MKBHD has done in years. I mean, come at me in the comments, but it is fantastic. It's in collaboration with this guy called Epic Spaceman, and he's a British content creator who, what he basically does is make himself in 3D. And you see, this is a 3D scene. This is all 3D here. And MKBHD demonstrates that by going like this. He turns himself into a spaceman and rotates around himself here. And he basically shrinks himself down, banana for scale, to the size of the transistors that make up the M5 MacBook Pro. And the size that we're talking about, because we're talking about billions of transistors on a single diode, right? The size that he needs to shrink him down to is just unfathomable, truly. And I think that we saw it just there where he compares the original transistor, the one that started it all, I guess. And even at this scale, there it is. Even at this scale, there's the M5 chip. This is one transistor. This is what they used to look like in the old supercomputers that used to take up the size of a room. And this is like him, the size of a rice grain or something like that. But he goes all the way down. There's a rice grain. All the way down. Smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's just such a good video. Cool. Such a good video.
You should also show the Epic Spaceman channel because I've been following him for quite some time now. Epic Spaceman, and his videos are really good. One of like my favorite videos is like putting all the stars and galaxies in a pool and so just visualizing how big everything is. And here he's visualizing how small something is, which is like transistors.
So this is the complementary video to MKBHD. So let's ignore that one just for now. Let's go popular. I shrunk 10 times every 21 seconds until I'm an atom. So I guess he's just talking about he's talking about what he can see, think, and feel. Because I think physics starts to break down. And in fact, MKBHD says this in his video that physics begins to break down at the level that the transistors, or the size of the transistors currently are.
Around like a few nanometers, we will start to deal with the world of quantum, and this is where things like electrons just randomly move across without, you can't like gate them, which, that's what transistors are, mini gates for electrons, but electrons just teleport from a point to another point. But it's really cool to see it in action. In that video.
We'll leave links to everything down below. We'll call it a day there just because Faza needs to shoot. That's all we have time for. If you're on YouTube, give us a like, give us a comment right now because we need it. Follow us on @Cmd+AI show, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And join us next week for all the news in AI design and dev. I've been Sam.
And I've been Kaparthy.
Keep on vibing.
Peace out.
Very good.